Yeah. So can I start, Rohit?
Yes, sir. So I'm requesting Dhamija ma'am to please start this webinar. Thank you.
On the screen, you can put the Azadi ka Amrit Mahotsav. Yeah. So good afternoon once again to all of you who are participating in this webinar series. I welcome you to this 58th webinar of the series. This is being organized by Skill Council for Green Job as a part of the Azadi ka Amrit Mahotsav, which is a celebration of 75 years of progressive India, dedicated to the people of India who played a significant role in bringing India to this evolutionary journey, and also to those who are now taking it forward to Vision 2, India Vision 2. So there were a lot of activities that have been organized. Dr. Absar, you also must be knowing that a lot of activities, exhibitions, webinars, and we decided that we should have a webinar series, 75 webinars, talks we should have. We should invite learned speakers, and we should host talks and deliberate on different activities or different sectors of environment, renewable energy, waste, sustainability. And I tell you, the list is long. Though we have completed 58 such talks, I still feel that we need a lot to cover. And then the COP27, which has concluded recently, that has also shown that we need to include more and more clean energy sources into our realm, and then that is how we can go to net zero. So today we are going to deliberate on geothermal energy, something which is very close to my heart and for which we were working in the ministry for long and long. Geothermal means energy from the earth. Heat of the earth can be used to drive power. It can be used for space heating. It can be used for many purposes. And there, all over the world, if you see, there are a lot of plants which have been set up. I had visited Iceland, and I could see that the whole of Iceland was on geothermal energy. Their heating was being done by geothermal energy. So this is a very important sector. This is a very important field on which work has been going on. But unfortunately, though we have limited sites in the country, we could not put in place any power plant or any such system. We did some R&D experiments, with the RRL Jammu for space heating in Ladakh, where we tried to do some poultry cultivation and we tried to do, all other activities. But as a power generation, we could not come up to that. And I'm very happy to say that we have Dr. Ahsan Absar with us, who has been a leader in this sector, who has been leading this. We have been doing so many interactions, meetings, deliberations on how the potential at the geothermal sites can be put to some productive use. So I'm very happy that Dr. Absar, you have accepted our invitation and you have come, and you will be now telling the whole world that, in fact, whole India, whole world, that we are now, the wish which you had put in your LinkedIn, that you should be remembered as the man who had brought India on the map of geothermal power producing countries. I think with the project which you are doing in Puga now, this dream of yours and dream of ours will become true. And today we are waiting and eager to hear from you all which is being done in this sector. So I will once again welcome you, and I request Mr. Sarvesh to kindly introduce you. And after that, the screen is all yours.
Thank you
welcome
very much.
Welcome once again.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. It's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Ahsan Absar. He is consultant at ONGC and former director of Geological Survey of India. He is involved in installation of first geothermal power plant in India at Puga in Leh district, Ladakh. He has been associated with the geothermal exploration program in India and abroad since 1976. He completed his PhD from University of Auckland, New Zealand, as the Commonwealth Scholar in 1988. He has worked with Geological Survey of India, Bilwara Energy Limited, and Thermax. He has been a member of various Government of India committee and delegations. He is certified expert in geothermal reservoir modeling. He is also the recipient of National Mineral Award 2004 for his conceptual work on numerous geothermal fields of Himalayan region in Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Uttaranchal and Haryana. He has about 100 publications in national or international journals, seminars, and conferences. With these words, I'd like to welcome you, sir. Over to you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you and welcome once again, Dr. Absar. I was waiting for long, please. Now, please take over the screen. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Can you put the first slide now, Rohit?
Yes, sir. Sure, sir.
Thank you very much once again. And when I received this invitation from Ma'am Dhamija, it was rather difficult for me how to compile this, whatever had been happening for last 60 years, because now it's probably in 2023, it will be 60 years of geothermal investigations starting in India. 1963, we started in the form of a hot spring committee. 1973, the Puga geothermal project was launched. And since then, a lot of time has passed. But as Ma'am Dhamija had told you, we have not figured out as a geothermal power generating country till date. We had that potential. Now we want to see whether our present effort at Puga would really bring us to that kind of a stage. You can see a geothermal well at Puga. It is like any geothermal well anywhere in the world which is producing power, but here this all high temperature and big discharge is going waste. It is yet to be commissioned. Okay, can I change slides from here?
So
Yeah.
I changed this.
I think you do it for me. So
Sure,
first
sir.
of all, I express my acknowledgements for all those, my seniors, my mentors, who were there from 1968 till 1990. Many of them were my mentors from 1976 onward when I joined it at Puga in 1976. And peace be to their soul, most of them are not there now. That's why I'm the only one left to carry this burden of. So I have got deep sense of gratitude for my friends in GSI who are presently there or who are superannuated, who have helped in many ways. And many organizations have helped in collecting the data from Puga, like NGRI, AMD, CA, IIT Kanpur, BARC, MECL, and state departments. And things had been going on under the overall supervision of MNRE. And lastly, I am grateful to ONGC Energy Center that they found me to be one of the advisors for this ongoing project consultant. And it is really a very big opening for me, because that way I may, as Madam Dhamija had told, I want to be associated with the first geothermal power project, and this gives me an opportunity. Yes, next, please. So here, I should start with what Prime Minister said in Ladakh on 13th August 2014. So immediately after taking over the government, he went to Ladakh in August 14, and he said that he had a vision for Prakash, Paryavaran, and Paryatan in Ladakh. And these three things together, they can take Ladakh to a carbon neutral kind of a situation. Now, what I want to say here is that these three P's may be attained if we think of another fourth P, which is Puga. Puga has got the potential of getting all these three things done. Energy is our main demand there. We can achieve that. Environment would be clean with the introduction of geothermal. And there's a lot of scope for geothermal tourism. Ma'am Dhamija has gone to Iceland, and Iceland is one country where the population is 4 lakhs, And the number of tourists coming for geothermal tourism is about 8 to 10 lakhs. So this kind of situation can be achieved. We wanted to do it right then, but then things have taken some time. I think the one thing very good which has happened in way of Puga is that this abrogation of Article 370, because this made Ladakh an independent, a kind of a self-dependent state, and then only our project approvals and other things could be achieved. So, although PM had said it in 2014, we had to wait till 2019 for getting all those permissions when the state became a union, Ladakh became a union territory. So now at this stage, we are, we are trying to bring Puga at par with the Yang Beijing in Tibet. I had always been very envious of this geothermal area in China, Yang Beijing, because they started after us. It is just across Tawang in eastern Himalayas, and they started about 10 years after us, and they started generating 30 megawatt, and now they are upscaling to 100 megawatt. And this Yang Beijing geothermal area is identical to Puga, and if they can generate 100 megawatt, we can probably generate even more. Yes, next please. So this is that's what I will be discussing. Yeah, next please. Yeah, just some interesting history of geothermal. The first geothermal power plant started in 1904. So it's not a new technology anymore. It's more than
Wi-Fi.
So this
डॉक्टर साहब म्यूट कर लीजिएगा, डॉक्टर धमीजा आप म्यूट कर लीजिएगा प्लीज.
So the first plant started in 1904, and in Puga we started having this geothermal scenario from 1970s onward. And this is a picture of 1976 when 4 or 5 of our wells were discharging. And this is again in 1976 where you can see a big Shiva Linga standing over a borehole. What happens is the steam gets condensed and it forms a part of, kind of a cone. So this is Puga, and Puga is, we are struggling very hard that even somewhere we can put a 1 or 2 megawatt plant to start with, so that we can call ourselves on the geothermal map. New Zealand started in 1953, and a number of countries, about 30 countries now are generating geothermal power. 70 are putting geothermal energy to direct use. When India had started geothermal investigation in 1973, only 7 countries were there. Only 7 countries. India, in fact, was the 7th country. And now there are 23 additions, and we are yet to figure out in that list. The Hot Spring Committee got constituted in 63. We had taken action that early. And then in 1971, we started visits to geothermal areas with UNDP experts. And 1973, Puga and other places, the exploration was started, and which still goes on. Yeah, please, next. So just a kind of a cartoon of geothermal, what it is. It has got 3 components, basically: heat source, recharge zone, and its reservoir. Now what happens is that you can just imagine a U-tube, water is descending down, getting heated up and coming out. And normally this is the heat source is somewhat magmatic, or at least in Puga we think it is magmatic. Otherwise it could be through disintegration, decay of radioactive minerals, or some exothermic reactions taking place, or maybe even the terrestrial thermal gradients. Yes. So this is what happens when we have got the situation like elevated thermal gradient and normal thermal gradient. Elevated thermal gradient you will find when there is a heat source, well-defined heat source, and you can get temperature like 250 or 300 within the accessible drilling depth. A normal gradient is 30 degrees centigrade per kilometer. Only 30 degrees centigrade per kilometer. That means even if you drill in your backyard, you will get a temperature of about 100 degree at a depth of about 3 kilometers. So that is normal gradient. But normal gradient does not give rise to geothermal manifestations as you see here, hot springs on mud water pools and hot ponds. These things, they clearly specify that this is abnormal thermal gradient, and that abnormal thermal gradient may be related to a well-defined source. So this is what in India, except for Puga, where we can say that possibly the source may be magmatic. In other places, it is a bit difficult to say what the possible source could be. Yes, next please. Just to show that this is the ring of fire, which is based on the plate boundaries, and these ring of fires, which are all red lines, they are the locations of the hot springs and geothermal. Most of the geothermal power generation of world comes from this ring of fire. India is also located on the ring of fire. Our Barren Island volcano in the Andaman Nicobar is located very near it is located almost on the ring of fire, and it has got an active volcano. Otherwise, all New Zealand, Philippines, and USA, all these places are somehow South American continents. They are all, and African continent. They are all located on ring of fire, which is a plate tectonic boundary between two plates. Yes, please. Just a projection to show that by 2030, it is expected that the geothermal power generation global could reach 25,000 megawatts. But as a matter of fact, these numbers are changing very fast because a lot of development of geothermal is taking place in African countries, particularly Kenya, in South American countries. So probably maybe by about 2030, we may be talking of 30,000 megawatt or even more. But the thing is that we keep on increasing the global energy, geothermal energy production. But the question is that whether we will get any contribution from India by in another 2 or 3 years or not. So that's a big question. Hopefully, if we can just put in even a single megawatt from Puga, even a single megawatt from Puga, that will be, something bringing India on the geothermal map of the world. Yes. Yeah, in India, we have divided the country into various geothermal provinces. 8 geothermal provinces have been identified, which are Northwest Himalaya, Eastern Himalaya, and then number 3 is Sonata, West Coast, Cambay Basin, Aravalli, Mahanadi, and Godavari basins. So in the Northwest Himalayan province is particularly very rich. Northwest Himalaya, which consists of the states of J&K, Ladakh, Himachal Pradesh, and Uttarakhand. So all these places are very rich with respect to geothermal energy, and more than 150 of the 300 plus known geothermal areas are located in the Northwest Himalaya. The important names from Northwest Himalaya are Puga, Chumathang, Nubra Valley in Ladakh, Byas, Parvati, Satluj, and Spiti valleys in HP, and almost all the valleys in Uttarakhand. Outside Himalaya, the geothermal resources occur in Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, West Bengal, Bakreshwar, Odisha, Maharashtra, and Telangana. So we have got, quite good distribution of geothermal resources all over India, and the cluster is at the northwest Himalaya. I would like to add here that in the eastern Himalaya, just around Tawang, which had been very much in news recently, just across Tawang, there is a geothermal area of Tibet, and this side in our border, in and around Tawang, there are a number of geothermal areas, and I would request that through this forum, MNRE makes a request to GSI to take up these investigations in the area just across Tawang in our territory. This is very important strategically that we take up these geothermal resources which are lying just along the boundary. Yes. So I want to discuss here about the explored geothermal systems. Explored geothermal systems are those where some drilling has taken place. Otherwise, we go to a geothermal area, do geology, geophysics, and all those things. And when we call it explored, that means some component of drilling is there. So from that point of view, the Northwest Himalayan geothermal province, which is number 1, which is the most explored geothermal province, and moderate to good quality geothermal resources of Ladakh, Himachal, and Uttarakhand are located in this zone. Puga, Chumathang by far have been the most explored geothermal areas in India, rather subcontinent. In Himachal Pradesh, exploration has taken up in Vyas, Parvati, Satluj, and Spiti valleys. All the major valleys of Himachal have been explored. They have been drilled. Major areas of interest are Manikaran, Kasol, Kulu, Kalat, Vashisht, and Jori. All these places have some potential for geothermal power generation as well as from the point of view of tourism. Drilling of more than 500 meters has been done in some of the wells in Manikaran, and in Uttarakhand, drilling has gone to even 700 meters in parts of Chamoli district in Tapovan. And exploration activities have already been taken up in some other parts like Tattapani and in Godavari Valley and West Coast Geothermal Province, which is number 4 here. One thing I would like to add here is that geothermal has got a very tough competition with hydro power. In Ladakh, and except for Ladakh, I should say in Himachal and Uttarakhand, there is plenty of hydro power. So really, geothermal has got hardly any scope for being harnessed for power generation. These are power surplus states. So geothermal in Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand, particularly, it should probably be used for other direct applications rather than power generation, because power generation you get cheaper and more versatile power in the form of hydropower available there. So these places have got a lot of scope from the point of view of tourism and other industries like, for example, drying plants, or for example, refrigeration plants, all those kind of things. Whatever locally is needed, that can be done, or at least all of these geothermal areas have got a potential for hosting a good tourist resort. All these places. Power generation, probably no, from Himachal and Uttarakhand. Yes, next. So if I will try to classify the Indian geothermal resources, basically 3 types: more than 150 group, more than 150, we will get the geothermal resources of Ladakh. Then we have got a group of 130 to 150, in which I was mentioning about Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand. In addition, there are Maharashtra, Jharkhand, West Bengal, Odisha, and Chhattisgarh. And then there is a group of hot springs with the reservoir temperature of less than 130. These are geothermal resources which can be used for small non-electrical purposes. So in general, low to moderate enthalpy fluids are suitable for power generation, and that is only in Puga, Chumathang, and some areas of West Bengal and of some area of Uttarakhand and Himachal. But as I told you, in Uttarakhand and Himachal, probably nobody would like to go for power generation. Rather, we would like to go for other possible applications which are relevant to the area. Yes, next please. Yeah, I have done an analysis of what may be the realistic potential, what can be generated today by the available technology. There is some confusion in MNRE records. The geothermal potential is mentioned as 10,000 megawatt, which happens to be slightly exaggerated, and probably there is some mistake, and maybe it is the megawatt thermal which has been written as megawatt electrical or whatever it may be. But this is in this I have tried to identify the number of resources present in various states and then possible power generation potential based on present day technology, what is available today. What we can do tomorrow is that about 200 megawatt of power can be generated in India according to the present technology, which will be basically ORC or binary technology. Most of the things depend on Puga because Puga is an unknown entity. At this point of time, we call Puga to have something even up to 100 megawatt, but Puga could, according to one of these studies, could have even up to 250 megawatt. And as I will tell you later, that there is a possibility that Puga geothermal area may be much bigger than what we think it is. So at this point, from the point of view of available data, it is 200 megawatt definitely. But if Puga happens to go beyond our expectation, it could be anything, 250, 300 or something like that. Yes. So coming to, I'll show you Puga subsequently, but then I'll just tell you the basic characteristics of Puga. It's about 5 square kilometer, more than 100 hot springs. Some of them are boiling, and boiling point at the altitude for Puga is 84 degree. Reservoir temperature of Puga has been estimated at 220 to 250. 34 wells have been drilled till date. All wells have been drilled by GSI. The deepest well is only 385 meter deep. Probably the deepest well will come now when the ONGC completes its investigation. 17 wells are producing power, producing hot water steam mixture, and their cumulative discharge is about 300 tons per hour. So by this number itself, you can say that the actual discharge which is coming on surface, that itself you can generate 3 to 5 megawatt on the surface from 300 tons per hour. The highest measured temperature is 120 degree. The highest bottom hole temperature in these shallow wells is about 138. And the resource assessment is that it is 20 to 50 megawatt and probably maybe even more. Next, please. Yeah, this is the Puga geothermal area, Puga Valley extending from east to west. In the eastern side, there is a plate tectonic boundary. In the western side, there is a major fault. And in between these two faults, there are hundreds of hot springs. 34 wells have been drilled. Locations of these wells have been projected on the map. And these wells, temperature has been measured in these wells. And as I told, that temperature goes from 120 to 138 within the depth drilled. One well which has gone deep to about 385 meters, it shows a temperature about 160. So, I mean, basically what I want to say is that, there is a potential there. We know that temperature in excess of 100 degrees are available even at shallow depth. And if we can carry out deep drilling program successfully, Puga could be generating power by 2025. Next, please. Yeah, just some pictures of Puga to make you acquainted, and probably you can plan your visit sometime in summer. Just go on holidays and go to Puga for a day or so. This is what Puga geothermal wells look like. And this is what I told that, a big mound forms at geothermal wells from escaping steam. The head of some of the geothermal wells goes to 12 to 15 meters. Water comes up to collar, and then, water can it can be measured in terms of tons per hour. And the highest in this well, which you are seeing, the highest discharge from this well was about 60 tons per hour. Yes. Yeah, this is what we are doing now. This is ONGC's hut, you can call. So the investigation was being taken up this time. Could not be completed because of some reasons, but things have started, and maybe during the coming working season, we would be able to do our first deep drilling in Puga. This is just to show you the relative locations of Puga and Chumatang. Puga is down south, Chumatang is on top. In between Puga and Chumatang is the suture zone, or what you call the colloidal junction of two plates. So these in between, so about between Puga and Chumatang, the distance is about 15 kilometers. And as I was telling that time, that there is a possibility that Puga and Chumatang could be connected. And if they are connected, if Chumatang is the lower altitude, so hydrological gradient is from Puga to Chumatang side. There is every likelihood that Puga Chumatang may be connected. And in that case, the geothermal area would become, the anomalous geothermal area would become much larger. And we can think of much higher potential than 100 to 150 megawatt in Puga and Chumatang. Chumatang is probably going to be drilled this summer, coming summer, 2023 summer. This is the kind of drilling machine which we have brought to Puga, and this actually shows that at least one problem has been solved, that we could bring such heavy machinery in spite of all logistic difficulties. So this machine could come, some of the parts had to come from Manali route, bulk of the machine had to come from Zojila side. And at least one thing, always as Madam Dhamija was mentioning, that every time there used to be a problem, how the drilling machine will reach there. That problem has been sorted out to such an extent that we are capable of drilling to 1,000 meters anytime now. So the Chumatang, the bullet points would be that it's about 15 kilometers north of Puga, and it has got 70 hot springs in an area of about 1 square kilometer. Temperature ranges from 30 to 87 degrees, and 87 is the local boiling point. Cumulative discharge is 15 to 18 tons. Indications are that the reservoir temperature may be about 145 to 150 degrees. And earlier the drilling was done, and temperature of 110, something like that, was observed. And a potential of 8 to 10 megawatt individually of Chumatang has been assessed, which may be even higher, maybe may go up to 25 megawatt. Thank you. Next. This is just to give you a view of Chumatang geothermal area. The geothermal area is on the front side of the photograph. The Indus River, it is located on the right bank of the Indus River, and presently this area is already a destination for tourists because it is by the side of the national highway. So it attracts a lot of tourists for taking medicinal hot water bath and all that. And this is the location where we are going to drill one of our wells in Chumatang. Yes. Yeah, it is just to tell you that what kind of different studies we carry out for a conventional geothermal investigation. We do geology, geophysics, geochemistry, heat flow study, and exploratory drilling. And all these informations which we get, they help us make a conceptual model of the system. And this conceptual model decides that whether it is a go stage or no go stage. So for Puga and Chumatang, we find that it is a go stage. And in the go stage, we will do preliminary resource evaluation, then production drilling, then well testing, and then based on the technology, we will go for the power plant installation. So at the moment, we can say that both Puga and Chumatang are in go stage, where the only aim in front of us is going for deep drilling for actual and accurate resource evaluation. Yeah, some idea you should have of the cost of geothermal power generation. In terms of US dollar, it had been always stationary between $4 to $6 million per megawatt. For over last 15-20 years, we have been coming across these numbers. So in this case, what happens is this exploration and resource assessment is very expensive because drilling is a component of that. And if I will give you a breakout, then probably what happens is that finally, when the power plant comes, then power plant costs about 35%. The drilling alone takes about 35%, say again. So that itself makes about 70%, and rest is for the infrastructures, steam generation, and all other kind of things. So I will try to show you in the next slide that geothermal takes a good competition with all other forms of renewable energy, including solar, if we discuss a situation in Puga. So in a situation like Puga, the cost of investigations and all those things may go up to 30% of the total project cost because the area is difficult and too far up, and logistics related issues make everything multiply by 1.5. Yeah, next please. So just to give you an idea that what geothermal power does, a 2 megawatt diesel generation for an average 8 hours per day consumes about 10 to the power 6 liters per year. Now, a 2 megawatt, if you install a 2 megawatt geothermal power plant, this exercise we had done for DRDO. DRDO wanted to have some kind of facility at Chumatang. So we had done this exercise for them. So a 2 megawatt geothermal power plant would save 5,000 barrels of fossil fuel. It would make power available naturally for 24/7. About 4,000 barrels of kerosene oil used in Bukharis for heating during the winter time would be saved. Then emission of gases like CO2, CO, and nitrogen oxides of 250, 80, and 60 tons per year respectively would be prevented, and emission of 3 to 5 tons per year of sulfur dioxide and hydrocarbons would also be prevented. That is for a 2 megawatt geothermal power generation. And you can imagine if the entire Ladakh, which is having a power requirement of about 100 megawatt, if it all converts to geothermal, then Ladakh would be, it would be the second heaven on the earth. Yeah, next please. Some techno-commercial information. They have installed a hydropower project near Leh, about 25 kilometers from Leh on Srinagar. This NHPC has done it. So it is a 45 megawatt capacity hydropower, which is generating only 15 megawatt during winter because the river gets frozen. So this is 45 megawatt is very good number, but only for summer. Winter, when you need the power most, it is only 15 megawatt. Before Nemu Vasco came up about 3-4 years ago, 8 megawatt diesel generation was taking place at Leh for about 8 hours, and it was using about 3 million liters of diesel at the cost of about rupees 30 crores. It caused emission of CO2 at exorbitant rate of 63 into 10 to the power 5 pounds per megawatt hour generation. Present requirement of Ladakh is rather exaggerated, is about 100 megawatt, which is projected to go to 150 megawatt in 2025. So we can take this number that actual requirement, say around by 2030 could be of 150 megawatt for the entire Leh and its surroundings. During summer time, there is absolutely no problem because Nemu Vasco is running on full capacity and it is providing power to Leh. There is no dearth of power in Leh during the summer time. Problem comes now these days around winter. When there is shortage power, Nemu Vasco is generating only 15 megawatt. 15 megawatt is not good enough to take care of the heating requirement. People are buying, they have got some innovative heating equipment which are dangerous. They are using gas cylinders for heating. That is also dangerous. Gas cylinders are being sold at exorbitant price on black just because of heating. So all these things, the Nemu Vasco has not really solved the problems because it is giving 15 megawatt. That's what it can do during the winter. So the best way to achieve close to peak requirement, which is in peak requirement is in winter only, 100 to 150 megawatt. That is by harnessing geothermal reservoir at Puga. And geothermal resources of entire Ladakh state have to be harnessed. Yes. So the Puga model, I am just mentioning these numbers because this exercise was done a long time ago. At one stage, Puga was given to a private company for 5 megawatt power generation, and the bid was for 170 crores. So that means the cost of the power at Puga was coming to about 34 crores per megawatt, which was a bit high. And at this price, the levelized cost of electricity was coming to about 18-19 rupees per unit, which sounds very high, but it's not very high because you have to compare it with the diesel generation, because that time it was only diesel generation in Ladakh. So this resource is proved to be better than it was for the 18.56 per unit was for the resource as it was understood at that time. Now, if we think in terms of a much better resource, better drilling condition, something like that, so maybe the cost of power will come down. So, but the cost of power, you have to think in terms of diesel, which is 35 rupees per unit. This is what it costs to army in advanced areas. That whatever army generation is taking place through diesel, it is about 35 rupees per unit. So hydropower, as I told you, is a problem during winter. The second and subsequent project or upscaling of Puga project will bring down the cost. This is 34 crores per megawatt, but some advanced technologies, some upscaling or better resource kind of things can probably reduce the cost to by about 30%. Next, please. So ideally, it would be good if the cost of the project could be brought to about rupees 25 crores per megawatt. So actually, even 25 crores is possible if our resource proves to be good. Otherwise, anything below 30 crores is probably not feasible. But the only thing is that if the resource proves to be excellent, much beyond our expectation, then there is a possibility, and the size of the power generation power plant is bigger. I mean, instead of 5 megawatt, it is 10, 15, 20 megawatt. Then probably there is a possibility of bringing the cost to a lower level. Yeah, next, please. Yeah, as I told just now, that if resource is shallower, less than 100,000 meter, or temperature is very high, more than 200 degrees centigrade, there is a possibility that 25 crores per megawatt may be the cost of power generation. So I'm quite optimistic that it is achievable, since the drilling rig can come now to Puga, so drilling is possible, and if number of holes are more, the reservoir has got studied potential, that it has got potential and all that. We have got experts from Iceland involved with us. So if all those things can be put together, the cost may come to about 25 crores per megawatt. That is what I keep mentioning, that this should be, kind of a benchmark, 25 crores per megawatt. Looks good also. Next, please. Yeah, this comparison with hydro, I told you that what happens is that 1 megawatt of geothermal, because of a very high efficiency and PLF, it generates about 8 million units per megawatt. Whereas, I mean, I'm taking 30 crores. That in 30 crores, you are generating about 8 million units. But in hydro, you are generating less units. How much? Probably about 1.5 times. Hydro is about 4.5 million or 5 million units per megawatt. So that, kind of number of units, higher number of units generated in geothermal, kind of takes care of the cost, and geothermal proves to be in Ladakh, not everywhere, but geothermal proves to be almost comparable to hydro. Installation of solar power in Ladakh may be at about rupees 5 crores per megawatt, but 1 megawatt generates only about 1.4 million units per annum. So for 1 megawatt geothermal power plant, we will have about 8 million units. So we need about 5.7 megawatt of solar power plant, solar power generation in Ladakh, to compare the number of units to the geothermal 1 megawatt. So in terms of number of units generated per unit cost, geothermal power reaches almost at par the solar power. Additionally, geothermal power has got other advantages, that it is available 24/7, and it can be used for so many other purposes, including heating and all that. Yes. Yeah, just I'm not going to discuss in detail. It's a common thing that geothermal may be used for tourism if we use the Iceland model. So at Puga and in other places in Ladakh, there is a tremendous scope of enhancing the tourism and, just generating more revenue for the state. Yes, please. Yeah, just I have compared some numbers. People who are coming for the geothermal tourism in various countries. In Germany, 6.5 million people come. In Iceland, 0.42 million, which is almost the population of the country. And we are already getting about a million, not about a million, about 0.7 million kind of a thing, a number of tourists coming to Ladakh. And if half of them even go to Puga, then it would be 3.5 to 4 million tourists coming to Puga. So plenty of scope of tourism related to geothermal in Ladakh, UT of Ladakh. Next, please. Yeah, this just a concept has been added recently that depleted oil wells and abundant wells are being used now for power generation. It is also happening in India with the ONGC Energy Center taking it up on experimental scale. Some of their 3 to 4 kilometer deep wells have got bottom hole temperature of 100, 130. So it is being thought that, particularly in Cambay Basin, that whether it is possible to use those wells. If ideal would be if the wells are not to be re-drilled and they can be used like that. But even if they are drilled, so can we use them for power generation? Next. Yeah, conclusions. Geothermal resources of Ladakh need to be taken on priority because Ladakh has got the potential of becoming a carbon-free kind of a state. So this way enhance the tourism and open up other avenues of winter tourism. Lives of defense personnel and local populace would become much comfortable, and development of resources in Ladakh, including those of Nubra Valley, would, as I told you, would give a carbon-free Ladakh as for the vision of the Prime Minister. And Ladakh needs to be taken up for furthering the scope of strategizing and enhancing our defense capability. This is very important. All our geothermal resources are such located that they need to be developed for the benefit of our armed forces who are braving that temperature of -35, -40 at the moment. Geothermal resources of low to moderate grade in Himalaya and outside Himalaya may be used appropriately. In general, many of the geothermal areas are ideal for the development of tourism-related avenues. There is a scope for taking up depleted oil and gas wells or the deeper, dry, abundant wells for geothermal power generations in future. I think that would be about all. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much, all of you, for this very patient hearing and just giving me this opportunity to be with you. Have a very nice time. Have a very good seasons. This thing, greetings to you. Happy New Year to you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Absar. It was a very detailed presentation, and I think it was much more than what we wrote in the committee report. You have gone more beyond that, and you have really, in the report, we had come up with 50 megawatt predictions, but here you have given 100 megawatt, and I think, there are so many questions that reading them all, I think I'll just ask Mr. Rohit to unmute Mr. Dr. Srinivas and Mr. Ajay Kumar Singh and one Mr. Upandya. They have got very detailed questions. So whatever they have, they can just discuss with you. Rohit, can you unmute Dr. Srinivas?
Yes, thank you very much, madam. Thank you for a very detailed and really very updating the knowledge on this subject. Thank you very much, Doctor, for working so long on this subject and very neatly explaining just about 45 minutes to get all of us on board.
Yeah.
So my questions are one or two simple ones. What are the immediate, if I understand correctly, we have not yet put up a scalable power plant. So in that case, what are the immediate activities and funding required to harness this geothermal? You have already said 1 megawatt would cost 35 crores. So what are that, what is missing then? Why are we not doing it? Why I'm asking this question is I also work with UNDP, where we can get in some funds to pilot some of the very important, innovation. So I would be happy to hear you. That is one. Second is on the thermal use that you detailed out. So my second question nullifies. Over to you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Dr. Srinivas, there had been some problems right from the beginning, way back in 1973 onward till date. The problem had been to start with the, with respect to the logistics, how the drilling machine will reach and all that. And that time when the geothermal started in India, that time there was no concept of private parties. Everything was government. Geological Survey of India took up the investigation. And whatever data we have till date, that comes from Geological Survey of India, which was under Ministry of Mines and under the supervision of Ministry of Power and MNRE. So now what has happened is that as far as funding is concerned, I am in a position to tell you about that because of my involvement with 2 private companies. We tried our level best to get some funding from some agencies which are routinely funding all these things. We did not get fund because of 2 reasons from Ladakh. When I was working for one Bhilwara group, we tried to get some funding. We did not get it from the government sources because now the work has been going on for so long and that nothing has come up, what new we would do and all those kind of things. When I was in a company like Thermex, then they took an initiative. They said that, okay, we will do it at our own expenses. And that's what I was quoting in my presentation, that they quoted 170 crore for a 5 megawatt plant, and which was, the bid was won by Thermex. JKPDC awarded that project. But then something happened. Again, the same thing, that Thermex wanted some funding from the government, which did not come, and Thermex just dropped the idea. And then there were so many problems, as I told openly. I said that abrogation, this of 370. After 370, the Ladakh has opened up. Before Article 370, it was very difficult to get permissions from the J&K, from the Kashmir government. It is now only possible. That's why I mentioned it very specifically, that it was the Article 370's departure that opened up, and that is happening. And first project should always come from a government agency, because only then the private companies would have some faith. So ONGC Energy Center is taking it up. Hopefully this 1 or 5 megawatt, whatever the number, there are 2 stages. First stage is for 1 megawatt. Second stage is upscaling it to 5 megawatt. That may come up, and then hopefully the entire India would be open to private companies, and also the funding opportunities would also increase.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for the detailed answer. Thank you.
Yeah. And Mr. Rohit, can you quickly write to Mr. Ajay Kumar Singh? He has also.
Dr. Damija, would you like to further elaborate on this, because you were dealing with the aspect of government?
I think it's long back, Dr. Absar has gone long back.
What I remember on the point of Dr. Abbas, actually, Srinivasan Sahab, the problem was also Thermex was ready to do it, and JKPDC was very much also interested, but then the sensitivity of the area came in between.
Yes,
what he's saying is 370, that whether the private sector should be allowed to move into that area also became a very, very important thing. I remember a lot of discussions in MNRE and CEA.
Yes.
And finally, what happens is you drop because it becomes a controversial issue with the JKPDC. Even the central government was not allowed to move in.
No, the state government never allowed us to.
Dr. Abbas would agree that MNRE tried, in fact, very hard to somehow break this ice. But finally, we also drop. And secondly, the cost also definitely. When you have hydro projects at the cost of say 6 crores or maybe up to 10 crores, geothermal talking about 35 crores or 40 crores.
But then,
also did create a little. CA तो बिल्कुल commercial organization हो जाता है साहब. They are not into R&D. So only organization which can do something is ONGC, where you have a definitive R&D part of it.
Yeah. So Rohit, Mr. Ajay Kumar Singh, if you would like to come and speak.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. And thank you so much, Ahsan sir. And fortunately, I have the privilege of working with him in one of the projects in Maharashtra, Ratnagiri. So basically, what I was looking at, Dr. Ahsan, as you said, there is a possibility of Puga connecting to Chumathan and probably being part of the same basin. If you look at the international projects, a lot of basic geoscience data has been generated to understand the capability, potential, and the dimensions of the basin. My perception is somehow we are lagging behind the international norms in this particular aspect. So what is your take on this, sir? Of course, it goes without saying it was an excellent and quite detailed presentation. With your experience in geothermal, you're the best person to lead this. And the possibility of using NMET funds for geothermal exploration. It's a green energy sector.
I will not discuss anything about the possibility of funding or that, because that is not my arena. But then I would like to tell you that there is a distinct possibility, as I said, for the connectivity between Puga and Chumathan. And that connectivity, if proven, then it will make Puga a 250 megawatt kind of a thing. Puga Chumathan put together. Now, I have always, this idea was first proposed by me only, based on some simple mapping and physical connectivity between Puga and Chumathan. And then it has, you are right, not proved yet by geophysics. Now it has to be proven by geophysics. We intend to do some geophysical surveys in the joining area between Puga and Chumathan, or maybe just going across the ridge to prove it, because this is a very, very vital issue. And I think I would like to get some kind of assistance and help from you also in suggesting you can take my email ID or something like that from after this meeting, and we can discuss on this issue. And we would like to get this idea formed up, that whether there is a possibility of any connectivity between the two. Nature defies it. I mean, nature, according to the nature, it should be one and the same geothermal area, which is cutting across the Indus future zone. But it has not yet been proved, and it has to be proved by geophysical tools only, nothing else.
Basically was pertaining to this because DMT is an international organization working in more than 50 to 100 geothermal projects globally. And I find that we generate a lot of data to develop a complete understanding between different geothermal pockets, and probably it's a part of a single basin or sub-basin, bring out the structural discontinuities which can actually cause a hindrance to the geothermal flow, that kind of modeling, geothermal heat flow modeling.
Yes, Ajay, I fully agree with you. I fully agree with you that these studies are lacking, and these studies, except for one empty survey in Puga, which were done through MNRE, and the report is under a question mark. There is no geophysics, detailed deep geophysics done in the area.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your detailed explanation, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, there is one query regarding the 5 kilowatt plant we had set up in Manikaran. If you remember, Dr. Absar. So that unfortunately, the plant was working, but unfortunately there was a landslide.
Yeah.
Because of the landslide, there was a casualty.
That's why, because the problem with that plant is that this plant was installed way back probably in 1982. And that time, it was the first geothermal power plant in India, definitely. Yes. But there was no publication on it. There was no mention, not even mentioned in a GSI report. And then this slide took it off. It was totally, rooted out of the place. And that's why one reason is that we don't figure out on the light list. Otherwise, that 5 kilowatt came up in 1982.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's unfortunate. There is only one picture available of that plant.
Yeah, I had it in my file.
Okay, yeah, that is only Geothermal Atlas.
Yes, and I think Mr. Upananda from GSI Nagpur, he has got quite a lot of queries. If if you could give him the speaking rights, Mr. Rohit, Mr. Upananda, yeah. Yeah, is he there? He's asked about some low pressure modeling and pressure modeling and all those reservoir modeling studies. Hello, are you there? Yeah, please.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. So it was nice presentation. Sir, I ask one thing. Is there any geothermal reservoir simulation type of work has been here done in ONGC through this pressure, temperature, and all those data that is available through this current drilling of borehole?
No recent study has been done. The earliest study was way back in 1980s, where ONGC reservoir engineers had done some resource evaluation. So it was not kind of numerical modeling. It was just a, kind of estimates. And similar kind of estimates have been made by some international agencies also, based on what you call that probability pictures and all that, according to which they say that 90% probability of getting something like 30 megawatt or something like that. So those numbers I don't believe. But actual numerical modeling has not been done. Some modeling has been done by bits planning. And they have also arrived at a number of about 100 megawatt. But as such, no sincere effort till date to carry out a detailed reservoir modeling. ONGC will do it when we get our first borehole drilled. And okay, ONGC will do it.
Dr. What about these studies which NGRI had conducted? Dr. Hari Narayan had conducted some studies.
Ma'am, Dr. Hari Narayan's studies were the first geophysical studies worked done in 1987. But then what happened that subsequently the technology and other things they changed, and then it is being seen as with a question mark. Okay. Some new studies have been done also.
Yeah, they were funded by MNRE.
Yeah, it was funded by MNRE. Yeah, I know that.
But are you in touch with Dr. Hari Narayan?
Not recently, ma'am.
Okay.
But then now recently NGRI has done empty survey again this year, 2022.
Okay.
Both in Puga and Chumathan.
Okay.
Yeah. So they themselves are trying to rectify the work of Hari Narayan Sahab.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And reports would be available by the by March, April next year.
Yeah.
So does it to be general practice before we put some geothermal plant? We need to do some model from the borehole data. We can do this kind of exercise.
Yeah. I know that, but the thing is that whatever could be done according to the old, that shallow well data that has been done. But as you know, we have got data available from only shallow wells. Puga was drilled by 28 meter to about 100-meter deep wells. So what kind of data you will get? I have done modeling of that data, and on that basis, I have calculated a 3 to 5 megawatt kind of a scenario for Puga. But the data was from shallow wells only.
There is a scope, future scope for this kind of exercise in Puga.
Hello?
Yeah, I think it's cutting. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think, Dr. Absar, there are so many compliments in the chat box regarding the presentation and the information that you have provided. And I'm really grateful to you once again that you have, come and given us this opportunity of listening to you. I will request, Sarvesh and to put your email ID in the chat box, and also the video link where his presentation will be available, because afterwards there are certain requests that they would like to have his PPT also. So Sarvesh, if you are there, PB Singh ji?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, yes, Sri case is raise hand. Can
Okay.
you?
Yeah. अच्छा, उनको भी आप
lot many hands actually.
Yes, Dr. More than 90
Singh sir, video link, YouTube link मुझको भी भेज दीजिएगा.
हाँ, ये हम चैट बॉक्स में ही डाल देते हैं अभी. I'll tell Sarvesh to add it. और हमारे इसमें सारे पुराने वाले भी हैं और हर PPT उसमें होता है ना?
Can we give an opportunity to there are 3 hands I can see, if
very quickly
they can capture, we can capture their questions, because there is a very rare speaker on geothermal in the country, and we have it, so why not to take a full advantage of that?
Yes, please.
I'm the only one left now.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think Rohit, you can take up, or PB. Mr. Taneja is there, Mr. Vishal is there.
Yes.
Yeah. Hello.
Yes.
Good afternoon. Thanks for giving me the opportunity. I compliment Dr. Absar for giving a nice presentation. I seek 2 clarifications. One is on, is there any possibility of having this geothermal plants year round, considering the low temperature below 0 degree, and also because of the political sensitiveness of this geographical area from the defense perspective? My second the clarification is that, what about the availability of groundwater and its persistence for a longer duration? Have you done any assessment of that? Thank you.
Yeah, in what context you want to know about the groundwater?
See, from the geothermal continuous supply of moisture for the.
Okay. So one thing is there. The first thing is that we have done recharge studies on the geothermal system. We have tried to see that how much of water is being recharged to the system, so that we can work out that how the reservoir would sustain the power generation.
Yes.
So those studies had been very positive, and we have actually, based on isotopes, we have been able to practically identify the recharge zone for the geothermal system in Puga, and the total amount of water which may probably be percolating downwards. In addition, we have done measurements on the discharge from Puga Nala. That is also being added to the groundwater and eventually being added to the geothermal reservoir. Those hydrological studies, they indicate very positive results. And more or less, you can say that throughout the world, no geothermal system has died till date because of the dearth of water. Geothermal systems keep on going. The oldest system is going on since 1904. The only thing is that, you know, there is a decline in some pressures and decline in maybe some power generation potential and all that. But every power plant, 1953 New Zealand plants are still going on.
Okay.
So that is not a problem. As far as sub-zero temperatures and those things, they do not matter as far as geothermal power generation is concerned. Because in Puga, naturally the temperatures go down to minus 35, minus 40. But I have shown you one picture where geothermal wells are still flowing in that temperature. Actually, because of this low temperatures, they freeze right on the well collar. So those things are, although they would be studied in greater details when once the power generation starts and initial data from the deeper level is available. But then so far we are quite okay with sustainability of the geothermal system and its hydrological characteristics. They have been studied well by experts and have been recently been studied by experts from Iceland also.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Good morning. Hello, I'm Vishal Sakre, Director, Geothermal Geological Survey MD Nagpur. Am I audible?
Yes, Vishal, you are audible, yeah.
Yes, sir. Actually, you sent me the link. So actually, I was having the meeting, but I left that meeting. And I just don't wanted to leave this opportunity to attend from here. And sir, you told you are the expert. So sir, it's our luck to hear you and such a very nice deliberation you have made. And very informative, sir. And you cover almost all geothermal work that done by GSI and other agencies. So it was very nicely deliberated. Sir, I want to add you, sir. From the old generation, almost all workers are not present. But in GSI 2013, the geothermal work has already again restarted. And last 1 decade, we are working again in geothermal. And in Manikaran, I will tell you, the 5 kilowatt was demolished. But after that, in Manuguru, recently, we have carried out some work. And 20 kilowatt power demo plant we are installing here in Telangana. And in 19th of this November, 5 kilowatt prototype laboratory type geothermal plant has been already inaugurated by me and Joint Secretary Eminari recently. And maybe in the January, we are going to commission 20 kilowatt at Telangana Manuguru geothermal field. Regarding Puga, sir, as you know, this empty survey we have taken up. So now, due to the late entry, it was not possible to carry out the empty survey. But maybe in May 2023, we are again going to take up the empty survey in Puga and we'll submit the report. That is very positive. And I am also associated with this Puga geothermal field. So it's jointly with ONGC, GSI, and from Absar Saab's guidance, we are going to execute Puga geothermal field in a proper way, sir. And
yeah, Vishal, I'm aware of the good work that you are doing. I did not have time to mention about Manuguru, but I briefly mentioned that Telangana geothermal areas. And I know that you are carrying the baton now in Geological Survey of India. Please take care of geothermal studies in future also. And yes, we will be involved in Puga and we will look forward to GSI's involvement in Puga, which has remained there since 1973. We want it to continue till we have the first geothermal power plant installed there.
Sir, one more information I want to give to everyone. Sir, the Geothermal Atlas of India, we have just updated that, and within 15 days it will be circulated, sir. By January, the new edition of Geothermal Atlas of India will be circulated.
Yeah, that's very good, and I know that that is entirely your work. So I congratulate you also on that.
Thank you, sir. Absar sir.
We have Mr. Taneja also, no?
Hello, boss. How are you?
Yeah, fine, sir. I had seeing you after a long time.
Yeah.
I had a very good time with you in Bhilwara Energy. Now, a very good presentation by you, although I have your all records, but you gave it to us during your tenure with the Bhilwara Energy. Now, I have got two things to ask. Like for Tawang, you have told us that GSI should do some work and get the things done. That's a very good suggestion you had. Now, Mr. Absar, you may be remembering, or rather, Madam Dhamija may also be remembering, that we had in 2016 a draft national policy on geothermal energy was declared by, was issued by eminent. That still remains on paper only. And when I go through that study, I find there are number of good suggestions and the guidelines given by MNRE in that draft policy, which can be useful for any of the company who is interested in going for geothermal projects. I will be able to share this draft policy with Madam Dhamija, and it can be circulated to all. But I think that should be taken up, and this draft policy should be completed, or rather issued in a final form after all these studies are being done. Thank you.
I fully agree with you, sir. I fully agree with you. We need to have a policy for that. We still do not know where to classify geothermal resource, whether it's a groundwater, whether it's a mineral, or whether it's like crude oil. So those things are to be decided. Some lines have to be drawn, which have to be followed in future explorations.
That is one point I wanted to make, Dr. Absar. In Iceland, minerals from the geothermal water have given a lot of boost to the cosmetic industry.
Yeah.
So here, in addition to tourism, the minerals they have a lot of health value. They have a lot of cosmetic value. So this is also an industry which will come up if we can promote these plants.
Ma'am, I dream of a blue lagoon in Puga. I dream of a blue lagoon in Puga, and I dream that outside the blue lagoon there will be shops which would be selling these cosmetics.
Yes.
Which are very expensive in Iceland. I want to sell them much cheaper here in Puga probably.
They have a coffee shop in the inside the blue lagoon.
Yeah.
Dr. Shah, Mr. Karthike wants to say something.
Yes, just 1 minute, Mr. Saxena, just a second. Dr. Absar was mentioning that it has not been classified, but in the policy, it has been classified as the renewable energy type.
Yeah. But the policy, I mean to say that the policy should come out now. Some lines should be said.
I think Dr. Saxena, Madam Dhamija, and we should work on this in this direction and get it done by this.
Mr. Karth.
Good morning, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Sir, I have seen Harinarayan sir research paper of Puga MT. It was shown that there is a deep reservoir at 2000-meter depth. But sir, ONGC planned the drilling of 1000-meter. But at 1000-meter, we can see there is a huge granite rock. Sir, how we can produce from there? Is there any evidence of fractured rock or fault through which we can produce? Is there any evidence?
That's what we are going to do the deep drilling for, to see the actual fracturing and the permeability of the rock. But in general, the characteristic features of the geothermal system at Puga, they indicate a very good permeability because there is a thorough mixing of fluids. Thorough mixing because you have got more than 100 hot springs, and their hot springs have got identical chemical composition. That means thorough mixing and stirring is taking place. And that is possible only under very good reserve permeability condition. But that is shallow permeability condition. Whether it is continuing in the deeper level beyond 200 meters or not, beyond 300 meters or not, because 385 meters we have got drilling data. Beyond 385 meters, if that is continuing, that would be ascertained only by deep drilling. We have got subsurface information only up to 385 meter in Puga till date. And reservoir, that model of Harinarayan Sahab, MT, they have suggested two reservoir. The deep reservoir is 2000 meter deep. And that deep reservoir is actually the kind of a source of the geothermal system, source of heat. That maybe even molten material or something like that, which starts from 2 kilometers and goes down to 6 to 7 kilometers. That is the kind of a heat source.
But sir, as you told, there are more than 96 hot springs. So sir, this may indicate that there are a lot of the site is very fractured because the water is raising up due to fractured or fault, sir. So sir, this may also cause problem in drilling, like sir, in Puga 32 meter, there is a blowout due to overpressured zones. Sir, how can we tackle this, sir? Because sir, the equipments, we need very heavy equipments. And sir, due to with air DTS drilling, the air may not good for the overpressure drilling, sir.
Well, we will be totally depending on these aspects on our experts from Iceland. They are the drilling experts. They have been supervising our drilling this time also. And whatever drilling was done this year, that was because we understand that we do not have any experience in geothermal drilling. We might have drilled oil wells 5 kilometers deep, but geothermal drilling, our maximum experience is 385 meters. That's what we have done in Puga. So we are totally dependent on the advice and inputs from our ISOR experts from Iceland. They have been present on the site. They have been, they have been supervising it to actual drilling, and they have been giving us advices.
But so, sir, this 18 rupees tariff is very high, sir. How, matlab, it is very high, sir. It can be to 5 rupees or 6 rupees, then it will be available.
It is 18 rupees tariff. I told you that the calculation was for the private company which they had done it, but they do a lot of these things. I don't know whether it will be really 18, but then you compare it with the diesel generation tariff, which is coming to about 30 to 35 rupees per unit. So you have to compare it with that. What is available, you compare it with. If Puga brings in something like 100 megawatt, I think the power generation would be almost at par with what we are getting from the hydropower generation.
But sir, as you told, sir, committee has been formed in 1963 and sir, in 2023, and we are only expecting for 5 kilowatt, 20 kilowatt like it is in Telangana. Sir, when we will go to 50 megawatt, 100 megawatts, sir?
Just pray that it happens in my lifetime.
Yes. I think Mr. Vijay wants to ask something. Hello. He has written in the chat box that he wants to ask one question. So if he's not there, then should I request Mr. PB Singh to kindly.
Ma'am, Mr. Karunanidhi wants
to. Okay, please.
Karunanidhi ji, please.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Mr. Vijay is also asking permission. So after him, Mr. Vijay also. Okay?
Yes. Okay. Thank you very much, Absar sir and SCGJ team for this wonderful presentation. Sir, I just want to ask from where we can read all the outputs given by this 5 kilowatt power plant and 20 kilowatt power plant, because these things are not available on internet? Because I was talking about Manikarant power plant. It is only written there that it existed but destroyed. What was the output of that 5 kilowatt geothermal power plant was not present on internet, sir. And sir, second, I want to add something. Whenever new things come in market, it is expensive. But with time, when new technology emerges, it gets cheaper and cheaper. And right now, the climate problem is knocking our door. So we have to go for this type of energy resources, sir.
Yes, sure. Why not? That's what we say. And in Ladakh, the comparison is very good. As I told during in my talk, when we compare hydro and geothermal in Himachal and Uttarakhand like that, then maybe that hydro would have an edge over it. But in Ladakh, the God has given you geothermal, and with that, it has given you the ultimate source of energy, because you can't have hydro. Hydro, we have seen the fate of some earlier, small power projects which were shut down only because of the silting problem. And in this present 45 megawatt hydro plant, they have got 1/3 or even less than that, 11 megawatt power generation during winter time, because the river is totally frozen. So there, there is no comparison. Whatever geothermal, even if geothermal is coming out ultimately in the larger plant for about 10 rupees per unit, I think we should welcome it. Because here, what matters is the life and facilities that should be given to our defense forces. We are going to do it for defense forces. We should not see money. No problem. And we should do it for national pride. If there is any reason for do Puga, that for me it is #1 priority, just because for my national pride. Even small countries like Thailand are having geothermal, but India is not having a geothermal power generation. I want to do it just like the Chandrayaan voyage. So we do it for national pride. Okay, I am also a geothermal power generating country. And that 1982 Manikaran is not available on internet because it is not available in report. That is the reason. And there is only one picture available. Otherwise, we cannot say that there was a 5 kilowatt power plant at Manikaran.
Sir, why am I asking this? Because my abstract has been selected in Indian Energy Week, and I have to go for an oral presentation. Whenever I search internet, there is nothing.
No, I think you should talk to Vishal Sakhare. He was there in this meeting. Okay. He is director geothermal, and if at all any official information is available on that Manikaran one, he would provide you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Vishal Sakhare.
Okay. Karunanidhi, please.
Yeah. Can I ask?
Yeah.
Hi, it's Vijay. Can I ask some question?
Yes, Mr.
Yes, Vijay.
Hi, Dr. Sir, thank you for the presentation. I'm sorry I woke up late. I'm in Iceland now, so that's the reason. But I'm pretty sure you've been my Guruji, so I expect you must have given a very brilliant presentation. So
okay.
Thing is, yes, yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it. But thing is, I would like to ask just one question, and then I would like to clarify a few things, because I think the audience in our country, they have a very different perception about geothermal, which I really completely disagree. So just to let you know, guys, I've been just following Absar sir for more than a decade now. And as a company from Iceland, we are also active in Himachal actually. So we are going on a large scale development for direct use applications for cooling thing. Now, I would ask Dr. Absar that if MNRE would have drafted this geothermal policy, let's say 20 years ago, do you think that the geothermal would have been ahead in India now?
No, I don't think so.
Why? What's the reason?
Reason is that geothermal has always been viewed, Puga has been viewed as a representative of geothermal. right from 1973, right from 1963. So I think even if MNRE would have done this 20 years ago, actually a lot of activities were happening in MNRE. In 2005, I was associated with Ma'am Dhamija between 2005 and 8. So a lot of things were happening. But they were all Puga-centric.
Okay.
Because that was a very well-founded idea that if there is any possibility of geothermal, that is only from Puga. Or maybe you add up Chumatang to that.
Okay.
So maybe things would change now because our vision is now like that. That now I think there are people in India, 4 or 5 of them, they can be made to sit and write a policy.
Okay.
Be followed in future. Yeah.
Okay. And one another question thing is, somebody mentioned that the tariff in Puga has been like estimated up to 18 cents, or it's like 18 rupees per kilowatt hour. Is this something, because what I understand, I was trying to estimate, because we want to be one of the party who are willing that if Puga expand, that if we can bid for it. Now thing is it something, if it is true, this 18 rupees calculation is true, is it with respect to, let's say, because
I don't know whether it's true or not.
No,
I mentioned this number because I was a part of this number. Origin of this number was in a group in which Thermex had given a bid for 170 crores.
Okay.
And for that 170 crores for 5 megawatt plant, they had arrived at this magical number of 18.55. Okay. And being the geothermal head at that time in Thermex, I was part of that financial structuring, you call it, or whatever.
Okay. But just as a single leverage, because I heard that now it is been up to move, it has been connected through the grid thing. So if we have the grid connection, I was just checking the calculations for Puga. Actually, I don't think we would be needing more than 5 to 6 actually, 5 to 6 rupees, especially in case if we go shallow drilling. So I see that there is a lot of misconception, and then when you start adding up for direct use application, there is a big game change. I don't think there is any other renewable I can directly claim that there can't be any another renewable source of energy, especially in the Puga or the Ladakh area, which can really compete with geothermal if we really come to utilizing geothermal. There's no doubt about that. Yes. And my last opinion, just to let you know, guys, I don't see empty of any value. There has been empty done in Chumathang actually also, and I was part of it actually. What I see, the core is related to the structure geology and the chemistry, and Absar sir knows better geochemistry. he's a geochemist by profession. That's also my perception in terms of understanding the reservoir actually.
Good, Vijay.
Especially our fault-based reservoir. That's all I would like to say.
I look forward to be working with you.
Yes. I wish, because my dream is that you come to be part of my team actually, because we need, especially for Himachal, to get a better understanding in terms of geochemistry. we need Dr. Absar. That's damn sure.
Thank you very much.
Yes. And sir, I really admire your contribution for, like, you have spent decades on geothermal, and even though this journey has not finished yet, or that means we haven't started geothermal, but your contribution is a landmark. It's a landmark for us.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you,
Bye.
Mr.
Thank you, guys.
Mr. J.V. Ramarao, very short, please. Mr. Ramarao? No.
Mr. Karunanidhi wanted to ask.
No, उनका तो हो गया मैम.
अच्छा हो गया.
जी. Sir.
Somebody has asked about geothermal, minerals. What are the countries where minerals from geothermal, they are being used in some other countries also?
I will not disclose it.
Because you want to set up a cosmetic industry.
The moment I tell you that you can extract lithium from Puga.
Rohit, Mr. Ramarao ko
So people will go for lithium rather than
Tries
geothermal.
to unmute.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Can I go ahead with one question?
Yeah.
I'm Ramarao speaking. Sir, very nice presentation. Congratulations. I just want to know what are the chances of geothermal in Northeast India? Northeast is not short of any major thrust zones. And why is that we are lacking geothermal resources in Northeast?
Actually, as I tell you that we should be working in Northeast. There are some very good potential areas, and we should be working in Northeast because as a part of our strategy also, strengthening our border and all that, and providing those facilities. I tell you that in the Northeast, across Tawang, there is a geothermal area of China, which is called Yang, which is just across Tawang. And Yang is generating 30 megawatt now, and it is likely to be upscaled to 100 megawatt probably within a year or so. And there is a geothermal area in our side called Sechu. Sechu is just the outflow from Yang, which is coming to our side, and where there is a border roads camp over there. So there are potential sites, and I will tell you here that MNRE has received one proposal from Northeast University, Shillong, for a detailed investigation of some of the geothermal resources of Eastern Himalayas, in which they want to work in the area around Tawang and Sechu. And that proposal has come to me also for comments, and I am going to give very strong positive comments on that needs to be taken up, like anything.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Yes.
PB Singh, now I think I want to thank you, and I want Mr. PB Singh to give us a formal vote of thanks. Are there any questions? We've taken a lot of your time, Dr.
Thank you very much. It was just a pleasure.
I would also like to personally thank you, sir.
Thank you,
It was such a pleasure you were with us.
A pleasure.
And in fact, one of the most interactive sessions where almost 98 or some people were there at one point in time. So much of interest. Once again, thank you very much from Skill Council.
I also love to be in this company of geothermal people and all that.
Yes.
Thank you so much,
kind
sir.
of you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for very informative session and excellent presentation, sir. And you face so many questions, answer session. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much.
Sir, your presentation would be available on our site. Anybody can go and click. The entire recording would be available. And YouTube वगैरह पे तो जो आता है, we have a site where all the speaker presentations and the video recordings are available. So we would be circulating that. Yeah.
We have, sir. I have shared the link for the Azadi Amrit Mahotsav.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and also the email ID of Dr. Absar. Some people were asking. Okay. If you don't have any objections, Dr. Sir, we can share
sir,
your.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
and now I thanks to all the participants who are given his valuable time for this session. Thank you very much to all of you. Thank you, Absar sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks, Dr.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Okay, you too.
We will
Have a
connect
nice
again.
day. Thank you.
We will connect again, Dr.
Okay.
Sure.
Happy New Year too, probably.
Thank you, sir. Happy New Year to you, sir.
Right.
Yeah.